Dual suspension, fat tires, the new HeyBike Ranger 3.0 is next. Let's go. What's up, e-bikers? Meet the all-new X Series from HeyBike. This is the Ranger 3.0 Pro. I had the Ranger S on the channel back in the spring. And this is the update to that. So they have a whole new X Series here that they're calling these, including the Mars 3.0 with dual suspension e-bikes. New motors, new batteries, and a whole new design. And it looks really great in this package here. $13.99, so pretty good pricing. And you can save $100 with my discount code in the video description here. So be sure to check that out. And I'll put a link to the e-bike in there as well. And they wanted to focus on kind of power and comfort with this new X Series design. And you can see here we have a dual suspension e-bike with the front suspension in this mid linkage here. So it looks pretty, it rides pretty comfortably so far. And I love how the motor sounds as well. So let's get into the specs more. I'll tell you more about what this e-bike has to offer. I gotta let you hear this motor first, because this motor sounds really different to me over a typical e-bike motor. It has just a nice gird to it, a whoosh that I think is kind of unique in the space. So let me turn it on and I'll hit the throttle and you'll see what it's like. Listen to this. So this new motor is a 750 watt, peaks at 1200 watts, and it has 80 newton meters of torque. It's got pretty good power, and I like the takeoff capability of the new HeyBike motor here. They say 0 to 20 in just 6 seconds. The default is 20 miles an hour, but you can unlock it in the settings or via the HeyBike app as well. 48 volt, 720 watt hours. Here's the key. We're gonna pop it in here. Charge port is down here. So we'll take a look at the battery here. It's got a charge indicator right there. See, it's fully charged right now. So yeah, 48 volts, 15 amp hour, 720 watt hours total. Discharge current 25 amps, charge current 5 amps. Comes with a 2 amp charger, by the way, as well. And it just pops in, slam it down, lock it up. The new Ranger 3.0 has a torque sensor, and looks like we have about a 48.2 chainring down here. A nice chain, Shimano Altus derailleur. And this is a 13 by 32 freewheel here. So you should have no ghost pedaling. And that's a nice touch as well from the team at HeyBike. What's also great up on the handlebars here, we have an 8-speed trigger shifter. That's right, 8 speeds. And we have a twist throttle with that. So normally you don't get twist throttles with 8-speed trigger shifters. Companies are switching to the thumb throttle on the left. But not HeyBike. They've put a twist throttle on here. So to my knowledge, this is the first time I've seen a twist throttle on an 8-speed trigger shifter e-bike. So that's a really nice touch there, and makes the bike more fun to ride, I think. And on the left side of the cockpit, you have your turn signals here, your horn, and your display here. This has NFC keys that turn the display on. So let me do that now. I'm going to hit this here. There it goes. You can see the HeyBike come on there. You've got voltage and battery indicator up here, your wattage, odometer, and your different PS levels here, in different color modes up to turbo. Here's what that horn sounds like. And here are your turn signals. Let's take a look at those. There's your left one on the front, and we've got rear as well. Nice. Close up of that display, you can see the battery voltage there. Yeah, voltage over here as well. Actually, you can change this in the settings, I believe. You can have it say percentage, I think. Average speed, max speed, odometer. And just to go to the settings, hold down plus and minus. And there you go. You got all kinds of stuff to change in here. And there's display settings and also basic settings as well. Let's talk about the suspension here. We have front and rear, of course. Front has preload and lockout. I'm not sure what the travel is, but it looks pretty decent overall. And here's a look at that front, the mid shock here. This is an air shock. There's a dial on the other side of this where you can adjust that. I think you need a special pump to do it. But out of the box, it's pretty stiff, at least for my weight. I'm 180. But going over bumps, it is pretty smooth though. So here's a look at where that dial is right here. Let's see, I can't see it. Right here. There's your dial for the air. Okay, tires and brakes. We are rocking Kenda Crusades here with the knobbies spaced out on the 20x4 rim here. Nice cutouts on the e-bike as well. Great for, I love that look. Saves a little bit of weight as well. Boosted rotors here. So we have 2.3 millimeters. These are thicker than the previous version. And these are hydraulic disc brakes. They're unbranded, but they stop really well. And I have really good stopping power when I'm on the road. The new Ranger 3.0 features this hydroformed frame technology as well. They say it makes the e-bike lighter. This thing weighs 75 pounds, by the way, with a payload of 440. But the new frame is pretty tight. Looks like there's some bosses here for a front rack that goes on the side. This paint job is ruby red, and it is stellar in terms of that. Here's a look at that front linkage and the frame there. So it looks like it's a very sturdy frame. I mean, these are really thick. Back end of the frame here. There's no rattles at all, so this bike is frame-wise is pretty tight. When you can go into the settings as well, or go through the HeyBike app. You can actually change it so the throttle goes full throttle. I think I did that already. I'll do a speed test later on, but that's a nice feature as well that you don't typically get on some e-bikes here. So if you want to do full throttle, you can do it here on the HeyBike Ranger 3.0. I love the look of the new rack as well. It is big and beefy. It's raised a little bit, so you got space in here as well. If you put a bag on here, it's easy to get your hands in here and do those Velcro straps and stuff. So nice design there from HeyBike when it comes to the rack. And they say the folding is easier now too. So they've improved all the joints and hinges and stuff. So we're gonna push down the handlebars. We're gonna fold up the pedals. And we're gonna fold the bike in half, and the handle's right here. All right, let's give that a shot here. I'm gonna do the handlebars first. Okay, on the handle here, you got to push up on the bottom, bring it out, kickstand, and very easy. Whoop, I got to put the pedals down. There you go. That was pretty easy, actually. Nice job. All right, we are on the Ranger 3.0 here. This thing sounds amazing on the road. That whoosh is something that stood out to me right away as soon as I fired up that throttle for the first time. It's very responsive. It gets good power delivery, and it gives you a lot of confidence while you're cornering here. Front suspension's pretty good, and even on the rear, if I bounce up and down, I can feel a little bit, but it's not a very much travel on there, so I have to let some air out. All right, let's do a little speed test here. Do pedal only to start. Good power. Again, I've unlocked this bike to 28, so we're already at 23. That was quick. 27, GPS says 26. There's 27 on the GPS, 28 on the GPS. And pedaling pretty hard there. Bike says 30, so it's a little bit off. Let's And one negative so far are the brakes. They do squeak a little bit. In there, but a little bit there. So I might need to clean those rotors on there. Let's try a throttle only speed test. And then we'll do some PS levels. 20, almost. 22, yeah, it's 2 off. 25, gaining speed. 26, throttle only. And running out of room here, so there's 27. Here's you hear those brakes there, especially the front ones. I got some squeaking in there, so. All right, let's try Eco mode. Torque sensor e-bike. And you're doing like 10 miles an hour here. Tour. We're up to 13, 14 almost. Standard. We're doing 18.7. There's 19. Sport. We're at 23. And turbo. A little bit of ghost pedaling. Not a lot, but definitely I could use a little more resistance down there. Probably could have used a bigger freewheel on the bike, or bigger chainring, I mean. All right, let's try a hill test here. Oh, good power in that throttle, taking off. We're at 10 miles an hour already. Holding steady there. And 11. Yeah, 80 newton meters of torque, so 750 watt back there. It's a nice grumbling coming back there from the motor, so I really love that sound. It's less whiny and tinny than other e-bike motors, I would say. A little more manly, I guess, if you will. A little more deep-throated. All right, here's where it gets steep. So my guess is we won't go below 11 miles per hour, but we shall see here. I'm just still doing throttle only here. I need help pedal here. There's 11, there's 10. So on the steeper part here, there's 9. Let me try that again with pedaling. See if I can improve on that. I'm pedaling. Drop the gears down a bit. Torque sensor e-bike, so you got to work it a little bit more versus the cadence. All right, here's where we're getting steep. Holding steady around 11. There's 10. Putting some effort in. And I think we're going to crest at 10 miles an hour. Minimum speed uphill here. Let's try down the steep one. 15% grade up ahead. I'll slow down here. You can hear those brakes probably. All right, let's try throttle only up this steep hill. That's pulling. That's going to make it. Yeah, 6 miles an hour. Nice. Good power delivery there. All right, let's put this thing in no power. We'll coast downhill and see how steady and stable it is at 30 plus miles an hour. Going down my slalom here. 2 hands on the brakes. All right. 26, 28, 29, 31 already. Uh-oh, got kids. With those brakes. Good control stop there. Very nice. We hit like 32-ish coming down. All right, there's your HeyBike Ranger 3.0 Pro. Let's go over likes and dislikes first. So start with dislikes. Definitely the front brake stands out to me because it's pretty noisy. I need to wipe that rotor down with some alcohol, see if that clears it up. Grips up here are kind of cheap perforated plastic or rubber. Never seen these before. Not the worst, not the greatest either. The shock down here, pretty stiff out of the box. Probably need to let the air out. And a little bit of ghost pedaling here with that. I think we need a bigger chain ring here. This looks like a 48 tooth. It might be a 46. Could use a little more resistance there at the higher speeds. But pros, I mean, the likes and the great looking e-bike, great paint job. Although I'm not a huge fan of red. This is nice. I'd rather have the blue, I think, if I'm going to pick one color. The rack is awesome. The comfort of it as well is just top notch. HeyBike did a really nice job with the comfort factor here, I think, on this. I think 20x4s are, for a 6-foot guy like myself, are the best form factor and fit for an e-bike versus a 26x4. I like my 26x4s as well, but I think this is a little more practical, a little more manageable for the average person out there who's around 6 foot. So you got turn signals on front and rear. That's a plus. You got great power delivery. You can go in there, you can use an app as well. You get the colored TFT display here on the left side, which gives you plenty of room for accessories, as you can see. They fit the 8-speed with a twist throttle, another pro. Great paint job. The new hydroform frame is pretty solid. Big beefy rack back here. A lot to like about the new HeyBike Ranger Pro 3.0. So let me know what you guys think in the comments there. Love the cutouts as well on those rims. The tires I could do without Kinder Crusades, but you can certainly switch those out if you want to. But let me know in the comments what you think about the new HeyBikes X Series. And I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget my coupon code in the video description. Save $100 on the new Ranger 3.0 Pro, guys. I'm out.